Hello folks, this is Mike, PC31 the Vinyl Policeman, and for those of you who watch my channel know that I'm rather partial to a box set. I love all the outtakes and the early demos and seeing how albums have been put together, etc, etc. I love all that. Anyway, this has been a bumper month because I've picked up 3 box sets, all very different. One of the ones is David Bowie's Rock and Roll Style, which I'll show you that. That's fantastic. I've also picked up a Clash bootleg box set, one particular gig. I'm going to show you that. But the first one I'm going to show you is a box set that's been eluding me since 2013 when it first came out. And I managed to pick it up still in original shrink. So it's been tucked away in someone's collection and it's absolutely perfect and got it for a decent price. It came out as at the same time as the Clash's sound system, which I did pick up at the time. And this is a set which full of CDs and tracks that hadn't been heard before. Paul Simonon did all the artwork, but this is a real kitchen sink job. Everything's in there. It's absolutely fabulous box set. But what I didn't pick up at the time was the vinyl companion, which I've now got, and I'm really pleased about. So this is the 5 studio Clash albums, not Cut the Crap, but the 5 studio albums with the main Clash team, obviously with Mick Jones still in it before Mick Jones got fired. But what a set. And Mick Jones has actually remastered all of these albums. He's taken the original analog master tapes and they baked them because I think they weren't in great shape at the time, but the actual remastering is superb. I mean, to quote Paul Simonon and Mick Jones, they heard things which they either didn't remember doing at the time or just forgotten about when the whole thing was remastered. So there we go. There's nothing, and this is Paul Simonon packaging. He's designed all of that. Because it's a top opener, I've managed to keep the shrink wrap on because it opens like that. So what you've got in this box set is all the original artwork. That's all been restored, and all the original labels. So there's kind of not an awful lot to see that's different from the original. It's the thing with this is the remastering, and it is absolutely superb. I think the last time a Clash record was remastered, or the albums were, was in the 90s. And Mick Jones sees this as the definitive remastering. He's been quoted as saying that's it as far as he's concerned. You know, he's done the best he can with them, and they do sound fantastic. So it's the UK version of the debut album from April '77. It's got to number 12 in the charts. There's no book with this. It's very basic. It's just the 5 albums as you'd expect them. All the original artwork, Give 'em Enough Rope. London Calling. I won't get them all out. You've seen them so many times. Sandinista, of course. And Combat Rock from May '82, which got to number 2 in the charts, as did Give 'em Enough Rope. The only thing you get with it, other than the records, is you get this stencil, which it's meant to be a stencil where you cut out the badge, I fought the law, and then you can cut out the Clash and spray it where you want. I obviously won't be doing that. But beautiful, sturdy box set. So I've managed to keep the shrink on because it's a top loader. And there's the albums there. As I say, an absolutely fantastic thing that's eluded me for a long time, but pleased to get that into the collection now. Okay, I didn't dwell too long on that Clash box set, folks, because I know you would have seen those. All the artwork's been replicated, so there's nothing really extra to see there. It's all about in the remastering and the beautiful box it came in. But what I will show you now, actually, is a bootleg box set I've picked up, which I think is pretty much fresh to the market. There's only about 50 of these which have been printed, and it comes in a box set. That's this one. comes as a box set. Now the only thing you get with it is 3 records and a couple of bits and pieces like badges. But the great thing about this is it's from Brixton Fair Deal, Sunday the 11th of July 1982. Now the Clash during the Combat Rock Tour did 2 dates at Brixton. They did the 10th and the 11th, and I don't think there's any recording known of the 10th, but there are a couple of recordings on the Sunday. Now one which I already had was called Down at the Casbah Club, which is this one, or The Return of Tory Grimes. And this is a fabulous recording, and it's from that same night. It actually says here, London, Brixton, London, July 17th, 1982, but it wasn't, it was the 11th. But this particular one, although the quality of the recording is really quite good, just white label, 2 white label records, is good. It's not the whole concert. And the new one which has come out is from an audience recording, and the guy who's put the box set together has done a really fabulous job. So what you've got inside the box set is 3 records, and volume 1 with Joe on the front is there, and this is right at the beginning of the concert, and you've got the red logo there. Second record with Mick Jones on the front. As I say, all the same concert, but you've got every track from the concert, and that's got the green badge there. And then the third one, which completes the concert and goes into the last tracks, is volume 3 with Paul Simonon on the front. So the box, as I say, I think there's been about 50 been printed, but it's called Pimps, Punks, Hustlers, Good Time Girls and the Clash, Brixton Fair Deal, Sunday 11th of July 1982. This one has actually been around, I think, since 1982. This is a really old bootleg, and I say it's excellent, but it's not the whole gig, but that is now the whole gig. So really pleased to get that box set into the collection. Okay, so the last box set, folks, is the wonderful David Bowie and Rock and Roll Star. And this is absolutely superb. If you're a Bowie fan, this is so good. It really is. I mean, this is a 5 CD, 1 Blu-ray, and I've been playing the Blu-ray quite a lot, which I don't on many box sets actually. But this basically charts the whole journey of Ziggy Stardust from February 71 right way through to the record coming out and tours. And this is such a cracking box set. The one thing where I was going about the Kallax shelves, it does fit the Kallax shelf. So one strange thing is because it's a side opener and it's a good box, so everything comes out the side, so you can keep the shrink wrap on just to protect it a little bit more, which is great. But if you put it up on the shelf the way you want to, it's kind of that way around up on the shelf next to all the others. I've got Divine Symmetry up there as well, which is the hunky-dory equivalent. It's upside down. So I don't know why they've done that, but anyway, small complaint, but a bit strange. But yeah, great box set. 5 CDs, 1 Blu-ray. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera down so I can show you some of the detail in it. But just kind of briefly, I mean, CD 1, you've got hotel recordings, demos, you've got Arnold Korn's versions. So that was a band Bowie put together very early, and they were doing things like Moon Age Daydream, Hang On To Yourself, Looking For A Friend, Haddon Hall rehearsals where David Bowie used to live. So you've got rehearsals from there, so you've got some seriously early stuff here. Starman, Soul Love, Ziggy, Lady Stardust, absolutely superb. 29 unreleased tracks appear on this particular box set, and you've got kind of well, let's so quickly go through it. So number 1 is a real mixture of different things very early on. CD number 2, Sounds of the 70s, John Peel broadcast. So John Peel session, Ziggy, Queen Bish, Waiting for the Man, Lady Stardust. Bob Harris session, Sounds of the 70s. So you're another Radio 1 broadcast. They're very great quality. Old Grey Whistle Test Performance. So again, the audio, not the film. But Oh You Pretty Things, Queen Bitch and 5 Years, which just seen so many times, but fantastic to have those. CD number 3, another John Peel session. A Johnny Walker, also Radio 1 lunchtime session. And it's all these songs building up to Ziggy Stardust coming out. Number 4, you've got just a lot more sessions, Round and Round, Chuck Berry song there, Ziggy Sessions, original single mix of Starman, original single mix of John I'm Only Dancing. You've got 5 songs recorded at the Music Hall Boston in October 1972. Number 5, lots of alternative versions from the Ziggy Sessions, outtakes, songs you haven't heard before. As I say, 29, unreleased tracks. Fantastic. The Blu-ray is interesting as well, because on the Blu-ray you've got the original album mix, you've got a 5.1 mix, but you've also got Waiting in the Sky Before the Starman Came to Earth, and that was the Ziggy Stardust with the alternative track listing that was pre the final album. So I think there's about 4 songs that are on that order, that's that order for the album, which were cut before the final Ziggy came out. And that's the album that came out Record Store Day, and I managed to pick that up a few days after Record Store Day. Singles, outtakes, and alternative versions. So the Blu-ray on its own is just crammed full of fantastic stuff. The only shame there actually is I would have liked to have actually had Waiting in the Sky on a CD, so you could play it in the car and put it on the phone, that kind of thing, but it's only on the Blu-ray, so that's a bit of a shame. So I'm going to turn the camera down now, folks, and show you some of the detail. Right, I hope you're capturing that okay, folks. There's also on here a lot of remixes by Ken Scott, who produced the original Ziggy album. So it's great that he's been involved to do some of that, because he knows these songs and these recordings so well. And there's interesting things like there's an up-tempo version of I Can't Explain, The Who's Can't Explain, which was slowed down to pin-ups, and you've got loads of quirky little things like that on this, which is really interesting to listen to. But you get 2 books. So the first book I'll show you is basically 36 pages, floppy cover, and it's kind of a Bowie, it's a scrapbook at the time. Sorry, not a scrapbook, it's kind of a notebook. Ideas, chords, lyrics, running orders, all various things there. So you can see kind of the birth of some of these lyrics and how they've developed. Ziggy played guitar, making love with his ego. You can see how it all developed. And we're playing with the track list, the actual track listing, which the sequencing on an album obviously is so important. And this album, really did change over time. All Bowie scribbles. 36 pages, so it's a great thing to go through. "5 years, So Love Ziggy." So you got set lists and sequencing, and the lyrics all developing. So Love, Moon Age Daydream. And it's interesting how long these were actually around for. When you see the kind of the Arnold Corns, when you hear the Arnold Corns rehearsals, and you see how these developed so far back. Arnold Corns, by the way, Bowie actually got that from, he was inspired by Pink Floyd's Arnold Lane, and that's where he got Arnold Corns from. You got some running times there where he's trying to work out what the order should be and how many would be on each side of our vinyl album. So you can really get into the psyche of Bowie at the time. Great stuff. So 36 pages. So the main book though is hardcover. Beautiful. 112 pages, and like many these things now, so it opens up with 2 CDs there. So really well protected. Let's take CD out, take that out. So CD number 1. And these are all different colours, these CDs. And I say this is the one with So Long 60s, San Francisco Hotel recording, Hang On To Yourself, early demo, Lady Stardust demo, etc, etc. Superb. Number 2, different picture. Sounds of the Same. So this is some of the radio sessions, John Peel, Bob Harris, Old Grey Whistle Test performance. It's in red, that one. And what you've got there is a little flyer advertising a book, photographs by Mick Rock. Mick Rock has actually taken quite a few of the photographs in this book. Great picture. High quality, as all these Bowie offerings are. Rock and roll star. He sure was. I could make a transformation as a rock and roll star. So you've got essays in here. You go through each kind of song itself, where they were recorded. Lots of great photographs. Essays from several different people. And a lot of the photography actually has come from different people as well. But Mick Rock has certainly taken a fair share. High quality paper, really glossy, beautiful. Ken Scott on recording the rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust. What a fantastic producer Ken Scott was. Article in Melody Maker, 1972. Fabulous quality, yeah, wonderful. Mick Ronson. Radio sessions, broadcasts, posters. The live debut of Ziggy Stardust at the Friars, Aylesbury, January 1972. Great photographs. My wife actually saw him during this period, remembers him sitting on a stool when he came to our hometown. I wasn't there, unfortunately. The Whistle Test, very, very famous video on the Whistle Test. Dory cover, Japanese. So I'll just flick through a little bit quicker. But you can see the quality of it is just wonderful. Divine Symmetry was superb. And one of the things about Divine Symmetry that I really enjoy, as I do with this one, is all of these Radio 1 sessions. John Peel, Bob Harris, Johnny Walker. Great picture. Really great kind of basic sessions back in those days. But because it's a Radio 1, BBC Radio 1 recording, they're produced really well. So you get great mixes of the actual shows they were putting on in the radio studios and theatres. So all in all, beautiful. Then at the back, you've got more of the discs. In fact, the final one is the Blu-ray, and as you can see, that is absolutely crammed full. And I have been playing that. Quality is superb, as you'd imagine. There's the Blu-ray. There we are. So, 2 books, folks. 5 CDs. 1 Blu-ray. And if you're really into Bowie, this is a must. Absolutely superb. Okay, folks, hope you enjoyed that. Couple of Clash boxes and Bowie's Rock and Roll Star. Okay, I've picked up some wonderful things this month, so next week I'll be doing a roundup of all the vinyl I've picked up, and I've picked up some scorchers. So speak again soon.